Yeah, we are online.
Just click
Hi, good
start.
morning.
Hi. Hello. Good morning, good noon, good afternoon for everyone, wherever you are. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our DigiChat. Tonight, we are going to talk about something that I think many of us quietly think about, especially as we get wiser. What does a truly successful life actually look like? For many of us, success was defined quite simply: study hard, get a good job, build a stable career, work hard, and one day we will retire. But sometimes life gives us the experiences that make us stop and ask, is it really the life I want to wait for? And tonight,
Oh,
our
sorry, the
guest
internet.
has a very
Oh,
we will start as usual with our introduction about the host, and then we will welcome our guest with her story.
well, I think that the internet from Miss Chang has some problem. Then we cannot hear her anymore, right? She's
Mhm.
frozen. Okay, so let me take over from Chang, please. So we are so happy to be here today and start with our Dizzy Chat number 94 with our very special guest from USA, right? We
Yes.
have Miss Patty here and her story. I really hope that you will be inspired a lot. And before we start our talk show, should we introduce about our host and our special guest? Okay, so let me start first instead of Chang. She will be back soon, I think so. But for myself, my name is Han. I'm living in Hanoi, Vietnam, a mom of two boys, a manager in a construction company for quite a long time. And for this digital business, I have been running this for over 6 years. By now, I'm a coach in the big community with nearly 290 100,000 people from everywhere corners in the world. So I'm very happy. The reason why I started this business is that I want to look for another source of income that I can be happy to prepare the future, better future for my two boys and my family. And thanks to the digital business, my dream, many of my dreams have been come true, and my dream as bigger and bigger, bigger with this business. So now come to my next co-host, Sis Ngọc. Please welcome on the stage and please introduce about yourself.
Thank you, Han. Hi, everyone who is watching our DigiChat this evening. Uh, the time we have to change to adapt to our guest time because she's in the US. Yeah, and my best regards to my co-host Hằng Trang and Nhung, and especially to our special guest today, Miss Padee from the USA. Thank you for accepting our invitation to join us today. And let me introduce myself. I'm Ngọc. I was born in Hanoi, and right now I'm living here with my family. I have more than 20 years of experience working across different industries, from media, technology to aviation, and in all kinds of companies, from small private businesses to large state-owned enterprises. But alongside my main job, I've always had a side hustle to keep my finances secure. I started this digital business because I want to achieve financial freedom and early retirement to fulfill my dreams of traveling the world and enjoying my hobbies when I'm still full of energy. With a clear digital business career path, I'm now very close to my goals. And now let me introduce my next co-host, Miss Nhung. The stage is yours. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Begin Before we begin, I'd like to give a very warm welcome to Mrs. Patty, our special guest for today's DigiChat. we are delighted to have you with us. Before we start today's conversation, I'd like to briefly introduce myself. My name is Xiong. I've been working in the banking industry for about 20 years. In addition, my husband and I have spent more than these years running traditional businesses in the restaurant industry. Personally, I see digital business as a solution that allows me to continue my main career while also building an additional source of income for the future without sacrificing too much time with my family and the things I truly love. And now I'd love to uh, get back to Miss Chamira, our host today.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Chang.
Sorry, guys. I just got some glitch on my internet. I'm not sure how much did you hear my introduction, right? So I just restart a little bit. I'm Chamira from Hanoi, Vietnam, and I live here with my small family and a teenage son who is flying out very soon this weekend. So before stepping into this digital business world, I have about 20 years of experience in corporate world, mostly working with major multinational companies in telco and IT. And while my job offered me a very good benefit, I am so grateful for that. However, it came also with very high pressure. And truthfully, I constantly fell short of time, especially time for myself and my family. So I started this digital business as a backup plan, but now it turned out to be more than I were expected. It gave me the freedom that I always longed for. And today, I'm so proud to be a digital business owner, and I have the chance to meet a lot of people from all over the world, just like ourselves. So, Patty, over to you. Can you give a brief,
All right.
short introduction about yourself?
Okay. All right. Yeah, just have a little internet glitch here, but that's perfectly fine. Thank you so much, ladies. I feel so honored to be on this platform with you guys. So I appreciate you reaching out and just sharing this platform together is truly incredible. So, as you guys have mentioned, I'm Patty. I am from Wisconsin, United States here. I've never traveled outside the country, so here's my chance to travel virtually with you ladies. So thank you so much for that. Um, let's see. I know we'll probably dive into my story here and just kind of share as to how I got into this business. But I'm also a mom of four boys. I'm a wife, and I'm a full-time registered nurse by profession. And I've been in my profession for the past almost 19 years now. So it's so great to see other professional women here on this platform and in this business community because we learn so much from each other. So I appreciate you guys allowing me to be here and to get to know you and to speak to our audience as to how incredible our business program is. So
Hello,
back.
Chang. Yeah, thank you, Patty, for your introduction. Chang is frozen again. Wow, you see that with our digital business, we have to depend on internet, right? But no problem. If internet has some problem, then we have another solution, right? So we are co-hosting, we are backup for Chang. Okay, thank you, Patty, again for your introduction. It's so nice to have you here, and we are so grateful to have you today. So I have the first question for you. From your story, I know that you are the daughter of immigrant parents, right?
Mhm.
And you grew up believing that education and a stable career and hard work were the path to have a secure life. It's exactly like us, right? We are all educated and trained like this, right? But looking back, how much of that definition of success was truly yours, and how much did you inherit from your family and culture?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question because, as you mentioned, growing up, I'm Hmong by background. So my parents came from Laos and they are immigrants and they came here in the late 70s. And so, they were poor themselves, right? They were country individuals, and coming to the United States was like a dream come true to them because then they felt like they didn't have to do all that hard labor. But again, we were told, I was told as a young child to go to school because that's what everybody was taught in America here was to go to school, get a good education, and get a good job. And that is what success was because that's what my parents never had. They struggled learning English and they struggled in the workforce and they did company jobs really just to get by and get paid and support the family. And so their success really was mine for the longest time because I thought, I was going to be the good daughter. I have two other sisters, two younger sisters. And so I was the oldest one. And I was just really raised to have that mindset. Like, if you have a high paying professional job, especially being in healthcare, you'll be successful no matter what, because you're always going to need healthcare individuals. And so I thought that for the longest time. And I wanted to be a nurse ever since I was little because my mom, she took me to appointments to interpret for her. And I saw the struggle that she went through. And I was like, you know what? I don't want people that look like me, that speak another language to feel uncomfortable. So I want to be able to help them in the nursing field. So that's exactly what I did. But my turn, but like I later realized that, I that wasn't my ultimate dream. Like I didn't want that. That wasn't success for me. And I'm incredibly grateful for my nursing career. But having a good career and a good paycheck didn't always mean that I had freedom because I was always giving my time in return for that paycheck to really support my family. And so, my parents gave me the foundation of working hard, and I have that. But now I'm learning to use that same work ethic to create options that they never had the opportunity to imagine, which is building something for myself. And so to me, now success looks like not just having a job, but success looks like being able to be there for my family whenever life comes and throws things at us, whether that be like, not feeling well, or that be, just being able to be there for my kids when they're sick, my husband, my family. So it's really having that freedom that nobody tells me what I need to do, and I'm in control of my time. So
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for your sharing. And you all the story quite similar to us because we are, especially the people from Asia, right? We are trained,
mhm,
we are educated, and we inherit from our family and next generation is that we need to study hard, get a good job, get a good salary, and that's all. And we work until we retire, right?
yeah,
But as for me, freedom is a thing that we are always looking for. So
mhm,
working 9 to 5, yes, that's great, right? Because you can give us salary, but we don't have freedom, right? Like you say, you need time for your husband, for your kids, and do whatever you like, right? So yeah, so finding a new solution is that we all look for in our career, right? Okay, so thank you, Patty, for your very nice story. And now we are back to our co-host, the second one, Cisna. Have a question for you.
Thank you, Paddy, for your very insightful answers to the question. Actually, I really resonate with what you said because, as Hằng already said, we all have the same definition of success.
mhm,
That is, go to school, get a high-paid professional job, and build a family. And really appreciate that you realized that uh, that wasn't success, right? And you said that the nursing job uh, gives you no time, and you want to build something for yourself. And for you, the definition of success is being there when the family needs, and
mhm.
to have the freedom to control your own time. And also, I really agree with you on that. And I think perhaps the realization became even more profound when life forced you to confront how finite time really is. For so long, success had been measured by, like what you said, what you could build, achieve, or provide for the future. But then we know that you lost both of your parents within just 2 months in 2023, and that when you changed the way you looked at time and life. So I have a question for you. What did that experience teach you about time that you didn't fully understand before?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And that's always a hard thing to share for me because that was truly my point where I realized, right? So, as I mentioned, I wanted more freedom. And I always thought nursing, I was going to live and die by nursing. Like, no matter what, I'm going to retire by nursing because I love what I do. I love helping people. I love the medical field. I love learning about the body and how things change. But yes, like you mentioned, I lost my parents in 2023. That was very devastating. And especially 2 months after each other, right? My mom, she had a traumatic fall, so she couldn't recover from that. She had a really bad head bleed. And my dad had stage 4 cancer. So, like, two of these incidences in life that we never expected. We always think that, our parents would grow old and we would be the one to really take care of them because that's what we do as children, right? They took care of us growing up, they raised us, and I wanted to do the same. But after losing them, I realized that, my goodness, they died. They passed away in their mid 60s, so 65 and 67, and that's truly our retirement age. Like, I was like, I have no parents anymore. I'm now the oldest daughter. Now I have to be that parent to my siblings, to my kids. And it made me realize how precious time is. I know everybody says it a lot, right? Like, be thankful for your time, enjoy with your family. But sometimes it really takes losing someone or going through a hard time to really wake you up. And that's really what woke me up. Because I've been in this business for almost 2.5 years, but I lost my parents 3 years ago. And after grieving them, I truly realized that I was missing so much. I didn't want my kids to not have a life with me because I lost my parents at such a young age. I didn't want to give my entire life to just my job, which, as professionals, we work so hard. We give like 110% to our job. But sometimes when it comes to our family, we're exhausted. And they're the first ones that we say, you know what, let's do that later. Like, I'll tell my kids, let's go to the park another day, or just go with your dad and I'll meet with you guys. I'll come next time. And next time really came to a point where it was never, like, I never showed up because I was working late. And, we, like I said, I think we always think that we have more of what we don't have until we don't. So more time. And there will always be next time, or I'll do it later, or I'll have more time someday once I get past this task, or once I pick up more shifts. I think that their loss really changed everything for me. Now I don't just ask, like, how much can I earn? I now ask myself, how much of my life do I actually get to live? Right? We don't live fully to the extent of what we want to do, like enjoy just little moments, just spending time answering a question from our kids, going over to our parents' home to provide them a meal, right? Knowing that, that little gesture does so much. Now I don't have that. And I value that so much, and I miss that so much. So every time I talk about it, it makes me sad because you can't get that time back. So I hope that people don't wait to finally have them make a change and have them step outside of their comfort zone, because losing the ones you love is really it's really hard. It's a lifetime, right? You won't ever see them in this lifetime. So, money can always be earned. And time, we cannot get that back. So use your time now, spend it with the family that you love, and money will always be there. I know my parents have always told me that too, but again, being naive, I really didn't take that into consideration until I started raising my own family and I lost my parents. And so, so I think that's really what losing my parents really taught me about. for me is that, time is really precious, and enjoy the ones that we have now. It's very um, redundant as everybody says that, but it truly is. It's simple, but it's really the root of everything that I do now. So thank you.
Thank you so much for the answer. And I really am so sorry you had to go through the loss of both your parents within such a short period of time. I can only imagine how deeply that must have changed you. And at the same time, there's something incredibly powerful about what you discovered through that experience, the true value of time, right? And realizing that life isn't just about working hard, achieve more, or preparing for some distant later, but about choosing how you want to live now.
Mhm.
I really admire the courage it takes to turn such a painful experience into a new perspective on life and to make the decision to live more intentionally on your own terms while you still have time to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. And I also totally agree with Ngọc, and I really admire you, despite of all the losses and in such a difficult situation. But then you still, you are not abandoned, but raised from there and really find a new way of life and treasure more time, and what you share is really from your heart, and we are touched by all the words or the story that you tell. And I also have a question for you, back to the interview, right? I know that initially you are looking for a remote job or maybe sometime like a part-time uh, nursing job to have time with your family, and that's totally understandable. However, instead of finding another part-time job, that you discover this digital entrepreneurship, and what is the thinking, what is the turning point that you take the courage to come into the new direction of being an entrepreneur, that you, if you can share with us.
Yeah, I appreciate that question because I think, many people go through this, right? So as a nurse, I worked in a hospital all my career. And again, after losing my parents, I thought that I just needed a remote nursing job because I thought that, that would allow me to be home with my family. I'll see my kids when they come home. I'll be there, when they're home for the summer and breaks and everything. And so I started looking online. Like everybody goes online for everything, right? If you want a new if you want to look for like a vacation, you go online to see what kind of destination you want to go to. So that's what I did. I looked online, I Googled, I went on Facebook, and I joined different groups to learn about like remote jobs. But, I stumbled upon an ad in this business. And after one ad, I kept seeing it again. I kept seeing it again. I saw other ads and I saw other moms. And I'm like, okay, why am I all of a sudden seeing so many women out there that are advertising and talking about a digital business? Like, what the heck are they doing? Because they are, I saw my mentor, my coach, who is a biomedical engineer. And I'm thinking, my gosh, I thought I was a nurse and I thought I, have a really good career, but biomedical engineer, goodness, they're like professionals, like really smart people. And, but she's talking about owning her own time and building this business alongside her career. And so I was like, well, if she's doing that as a full-time biomedical engineer, like I'm a full-time nurse, I know I'm coming on Facebook, I'm scrolling. So, if she says that it's only just 1 to 2 hours a day, maybe I'll take a look at it, right? Because what do I have to lose right now? At that moment, I was desperate for anything to really give me time. And so when she said time, freedom, and something that I didn't have to go out and work another job, because we all want the extra money, right? We all want to take our kids and our husbands on vacations, but that means we have to pick up more shifts, put in more hours. And what she said resonated with me so much because I was like, you know what, let me just give it a shot. And at that time, I was turning 40. So I feel like whoever's turning 40, it might be your breaking point because I saw her ad and I kept, watching it. And I didn't join right away. I didn't learn right away. It took me some time. It took me a few months before I just really finally said it was on my birthday. And I was like, I'm just going to check it out. I didn't tell my husband. I signed up. I watched the webinar that we encourage everyone to do so. And I was just amazed. I'm like, is this real? Like people are making money online. And again, that webinar really just kind of gives me the overview. So I was like, okay, I want more because as a nurse, I need to know details, right? I need to know what is really working, what's legitimate. Like we look for research and we want to do things that are proven and not just on the spur of the moment. So I really took that time. I paid that 149 to learn more to see, okay, is this really for me? Can I use my nursing brain to ask the whys, ask as to why is it that they're saying that they can make income online? Why is it that they saying that they don't need to sell or bug friends and family? Because I didn't want that. I didn't want to, host parties. I love talking to people. I love making friends, but I didn't want to go and invade into people's homes, like selling life insurance or hosting parties to say, buy this $10 item because they were such, the commissions that you get from that is just very low. So again, back to time, right? I wanted more time. And so I thought that I just needed a remote nursing job. But you know what? It opened up opportunities for me. And social media had its way of putting things in my face at the time that I needed it. And it was truly this business. And so now that I've been in it for 2.5 years, I love the foundation that our leaders have built and the ability of social media to really reach out to individuals like you guys see today. Like I don't know these ladies, and they reached out to me, and I'm so humbled by that. I'm so thrown back by that because I'm like, how did you guys find me? But you know what? We are in such a global community, and everybody helps one another. That's the beauty of building something online is that you get to connect with others from all over. It's not just those who come to your company, to your hospital, to your workplace, but these are real people with real lives, such as these ladies here working hard every day to provide for the family, but also, helping one another grow in their business. And I wanted that because I wanted that connectivity. And that's what I truly found in this business was really being able to connect with so many individuals. I still love my nursing career, and I didn't necessarily want to leave from it. I just wanted to put in the time when I had time, right? Just like volunteer work, we give up so much of our time when we volunteer, and that's what I want my career to be is my volunteer time because I passionately want to spend that time to help others and not be required to do so every day for the rest of my life, despite how my kids are feeling, despite how my family is doing. And, I think I answered your question is that, this was
Yeah.
really just fighting
Yes,
this
sure,
business.
sure, sure.
So,
Yes, sure. Actually, you answer it very well, and you cover a lot more than what I ever asked for you. And I really love the one phrase that you say that this job give you how to say you can own your time. It's not only about the flexibility that you can do it everywhere, but it's like volunteering and you are owning your time. You can still do everything else like your own job and also have time with family, and still you can stress some time to do this business, and it gives you the possibility to reach out to everyone all over the world, like you just cited today that the first time meet us, but we are still like in a family. And I really love the way we are connected, and also this community, a lot of things to learn from, and a lot of exciting, interesting people that we meet every day. Thank you, Padee. And maybe give you to Nhung, right? You ask the last
Yes.
question.
Yes. Patty, thank you for sharing with us your personal story. I really like that distinction because having a flexible job and having freedom are not always the same things. We can change where the work and still have someone else deciding when we work, how much we work, how much time we have for ourselves and our families. So maybe what you were really looking for was not simply a different job.
Mhm.
It was more choice and more control over how you want to live your life. And I think that also explains why your idea of retirement has changed. You once said something that I found very interesting. Uh, I don't have a, I don't have the same retirement dream anymore. So I'd love to hear more about that. What does your new dream look like? And what does freedom mean to Patine today?
Yeah, thank you for asking. And like I mentioned earlier, my parents passed away 65, 67. So that's really like retirement age, right? And traditionally, my retirement and my dream was really to work as a nurse and retire from a nurse. But you know what? I've scratched that. I don't want to retire because that is a long time to give 40 hours a week to my job and to my career to finally then own my time at retirement age. And hopefully, I have a good savings by then, or I have something else to really help supplement. And so, that was my old dream 2.5 years ago before I started this business. And my retirement looks so much different because I've done well for myself to in comparison to what my parents had for themselves. They were able to retire and be at 65, but it was very short lived. And I want to see that sooner than later. And retiring someday at that time just doesn't work for me and my kids. I don't want it to be someday, right? Someday in the long distance. So my new dream is really to create enough options that I get to decide when I slow down. Not an age. It's not going to be determined by age and the government and the, social media, but it's really going to be on my terms. And that can be, sooner than later because we've seen individuals in our community that have retired at 45 as nurses. And I think that is just alarming and amazing. And so, I'd say give yourself 5 years, right? To invest in yourself, to learn the business, to learn the new skills. And so I'm like halfway there. So I look forward to being able to join the rest of the community and being able to say, you know what, I own my time. And for me, freedom today is really having that choice. The choice to go to my son's soccer game, the choice to take them to their doctor's appointments in the middle of the day without having to ask my boss, you know what, I have a doctor's appointment I need to take my son to. I need time off. I'll make up my time. You have to make up time at work. If you're going to miss 5 hours, 4 hours, you're going to have to make that up. And I don't want to keep trying to make it up because I can't make up these moments with my kids anymore. I can't make up the moments that I lost with my parents. And so the choice is really to keep nursing because I love it and not because I have to do it. The choice to travel, be present with my family, to take my kids and my family to Vietnam because I would love to visit you guys one day, and to mentor others, right? I help so many nurses and patients see the value of their health and see the choices that they make. And I want to be able to help moms, dads, professionals out there that they don't have to always trade their time for money. And I think that's what's truly inspiring with this business is that we get to help people dream bigger than just having a better job. And just, education is great. I think everybody needs an education, no matter what that is, whether you see that as education in a 4-year university, or it could simply mean educating yourself, going on YouTube, learning skills, learning new ideas, but just educate yourself in what's available and not be so fearful as to learning something new and feeling uncomfortable because I'm sure all of you here, along with myself, we were all scared to come online and share our story because it makes us so vulnerable. Like it's our weak point, right? We don't want people to see how crazy we look, how maybe absurd we sound, and how silly it is that we say certain things, but that's us. We're all humans and we're all unique. And I love that. So my retirement goal is to really be able to connect with as many people as I can to make that huge impact beyond just nursing in the healthcare field, but outside of that, and help build, just a legacy for my kids, because my parents left us with nothing. They didn't know about legacy building. And I love that this business is going to be able to retire me as well as help my kids and build a legacy for them that they can carry on without having to work so hard. It's just working smarter and not harder. So I hope that whoever's listening today can resonate with all of us tonight or tomorrow or this morning, because it's early morning here, as to what we have to share about our digital business. So yeah, that's all that I have to share.
Thank you so much, Patty, for sharing your story with us. I believe your journey will inspire many people to think about their own definition of success. Thank you.
Thank you, Nhung, and thank you, Patty, for your sharing. It's so inspiring and very powerful. And I do believe that many people who watch our talk show today or watch the replay will feel resonates with your story. So from Patty's story, we see that, wow, she redefined the success from the security as a registered nurse manager 9 to 5 job right now to become a digital business owner, and we work to find back our freedom, right? And yeah, of course, welcome you to Vietnam. It's so lovely that with this digital business we can be connected with so many people from everywhere in the world. So welcome, right?
Yeah.
So with this digital business we have our choice. We can choose where to work, when to work, with whom when we work with, right? So it's our freedom, right? So not freedom is not only about the money, but freedom is about that we can have decision to choose what we want in our life, right? So we do believe that Patty's story today is very inspiring for you and help you to have more information about our digital business and help you to have more encouragement to step out of your comfort zone and find a new solution, find a new way to make your dreams come true. And for this digital business, we are so grateful that we have found this business and help us to have our bigger and bigger dreams, right? So for anyone who are interested in this digital business or who want to know more about this, there are 3 simple steps. The first one, you can contact one among us or leave your name and email at our website to get more information about this business and watch the webinar. As Patty said, the webinar is totally free, so you get to know more about this business, about our people, about the 3 important pillars to be successful in any kind of business, especially online business. So the second step, if you want to step into the community to get in details about how's this digital business look like, what is the affiliate products or company that we are working with, what is the solution, what is the strategy, everything, investment, of course, ROI, of course. So that's the second step, that you need to pay $149, but it is securely 100% refund within 30 days. If you don't feel that, it's not for you, okay, simple, just ask for refund and then the system will refund you total 100%. And if you think that, wow, this is for you, then the third step is book coaching call with your coach. And we are here. We are always want to help you, to give hand to you and help you to become a digital business owner like us. And you can find your dream here, right? So yeah, that's the story from Patty today. And once again, thank you so much. We are so grateful to have you today. And we wish your dreams become bigger with this business and you become more successful. We are so grateful to have you, and thank you, our beautiful co-host, and thank you for everyone.
Thank you, everyone. And remember that we don't actually know how much time we have, but we do have some choice in how we use the time we have today, right? Thank you once again, Padee, and our beloved co-host. And have a nice day, have a nice evening, wherever you are in the world. See you next week.
Okay, see you all next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.